The night was quiet, except for the soft whisper of the wind brushing over the Arizona plains. Beneath a star-strewn sky, a lone cowboy rode his horse through the dust, hat pulled low, eyes sharp, soul tired. His name was Colt Ramsey, a man known across the territory for being tough as saddle leather. But with a heart he kept locked tighter than a jailhouse door. He wasn't expecting to find anything that night, least of all, a child. As he guided his horse past the edge of a dying fire, he heard a faint whimper. Dismounting, Colt crouched beside the smoldering campfire remains, where a tiny girl no more than 6 sat clutching a ragged doll. Her cheeks were stained with dust and tears, her dark hair tangled, her small body trembling. "Hey now, little one," Colt said softly, removing his hat. "You alone out here?" She didn't answer, only stared up at him with wide, frightened eyes the color of the desert dusk. A small pendant hung around her neck, a hand-carved wooden feather. Colt recognized the craft immediately. Apache. He looked around the camp. No horses, no supplies, no signs of life, only a few broken arrows and a trail of boot prints leading away into the dark. Someone had left her here. Colt wrapped her in his poncho and lifted her onto his horse. "Don't worry, darling. You're safe now," he murmured. But as the horse trotted toward his ranch, Colt couldn't shake the feeling that this child's story was just another tragedy of the wild frontier. It felt connected. The next morning, the little girl barely spoke. Colt offered her food, but she only picked at it. When he asked her name, she whispered Naya. For weeks, she said little else. She'd follow him around silently, helping feed the horses, patch fences, and sweep the porch. Sometimes, Colt caught her staring at the horizon, as if waiting for someone. Colt had no family of his own. His wife had died 3 years earlier, and the ranch had felt empty since. But slowly, Naya filled that emptiness with her quiet laughter, her curious eyes, her gentle spirit. He started calling her Little Feather, after the charm she wore. Months passed, and she began to trust him. At night he'd tell her stories about the stars, and she'd listen with her head resting on his shoulder. He grew to love her as if she were his own child, until the day everything changed. It was a blistering afternoon when a group of riders appeared at the edge of his ranch. Colt's hand instinctively went to his gun, but as they drew closer, he saw they weren't soldiers, they were Apache. And leading them was a woman who made his breath catch. She sat tall and proud on her horse, long black hair cascading over her shoulders, her face both fierce and heartbreakingly beautiful. Her eyes, deep, storm-dark, and full of grief, found Naya immediately. The little girl dropped her broom and ran. "Mama," the woman dismounted, falling to her knees as Naya flung herself into her arms. Tears streamed down the woman's face as she held her daughter tight, whispering words in Apache, too soft for Colt to understand. Colt stood frozen, realization hitting him like a hammer. Naya wasn't just any lost child. She was the daughter of an Apache widow, and that widow was standing right there, reclaiming her little girl. When Naya's mother finally rose, her gaze met Colt's. "You found her," she said, her voice low but steady. "They took her from me during a raid. I searched. Thought she was gone forever." Colt nodded slowly. "Found her alone near the river. Been with me near 5 months." The woman placed a hand over her heart. "I owe you my life for keeping her safe." "You don't owe me nothin'," Colt replied, though his throat tightened. "She saved me more than I saved her." There was silence, heavy charged. The other Apache riders waited respectfully in the distance, sensing something deeper at play. Naya clung to both of them, one hand holding her mother, the other reaching for Colt. Her eyes pleaded. "Can he come with us, Mama?" Her mother smiled sadly. "He belongs to his people, Naya, and we belong to ours." But something in her tone said she didn't truly believe it. For days after they left, Colt's ranch felt emptier than ever. He told himself he'd done the right thing, that she was where she belonged. But every time he walked past her tiny carved feather still hanging on the porch post, his chest ached. Mr. Laugh, Mr. calling him Papa Colt. Then one evening, as the sun sank in a blaze of gold and crimson, he saw movement on the horizon. 2 riders approached, a woman and a child. "It was them." Naya waved wildly, and her mother smiled, the wind tugging at her dark hair. "We couldn't stay away," she said softly as she dismounted. Naya wouldn't stop talking about her cowboy. Colt's grin was slow, disbelieving. Well, I can't say I didn't miss y'all, the widow Ayana smiled back. I thought maybe could stay a while, help on the ranch. You gave us a home once. Maybe it's time we gave you one, too. Colt's eyes softened. I'd like that. Seasons passed. Naya grew up between two worlds, learning her people. Ways from her mother, and the cowboy trade from Colt. The ranch flourished again, filled with laughter, music, and life. One evening, as Ayana and Colt watched Naya chase fireflies across the yard, she turned to him and said, You gave her hope when I couldn't find her. You gave me something too. What's that? He asked quietly. A reason to believe in second chances. Colt took her hand, rough palm against soft skin. Guess we both found something worth keeping. The stars blinked above them, the same stars that had watched over a lost child and a lonely cowboy months before. But now they watched over something new. A family forged not by blood, but by love, faith, and fate. Moral of the story, love knows no boundaries. Not of race, not of loss, not of past pain. Sometimes the people we're meant to protect end up healing us in ways we never imagined.